Hello everyone, and welcome to another Starcraft 2 replay. This one's going to take place on Scorched Basin. Yes, not only am I back on YouTube, but my partner EvilKilla's is back on the interwebs. So yes, it's been a long time. I think it's about time for a VOD of a good old-fashioned planetary fortress to the face. So we're doing our Fortress Hellion build here, and of course we haven't done it for a long time, and I'm realizing this match, my Hellion build order involved going barracks before supply depot. So it's been that long since we played because I can't actually do that build order anymore. So our opponents today, we have Synopsis as, I think he was actually random, spawning on the bottom right hand position. And the top right we have Rashku, who was spawned as Protoss, and when there's a Protoss in the game, you know we're going for planetary. So kind of neat map. You gotta float across the map anyways, so we may as well do your mining at the high yield. So basically what he does is my partner gets one round of minerals from here, flies over, and as he's flying over he sets up the refinery. So I guess we'll just speed up a touch, see what our opponents are up to. One gate at the ramp. One gate in a more economical position. Yeah, against double Terran, you probably don't want to wall off. I mean, you're not gonna have to worry about like a speedling run by, and having all your buildings here probably just makes it easier for Terran to snipe, as the Terran is all ranged units, and heavily ranged units with once they get the tanks on the field. Of course, that's typical Terran. We're not typical. Well, let's see what he spotted there. Yes, he did spot that we took the high yield. And my partner is floating out at the same time. He's scouting to make sure he's found a Protoss opponent. And trying to evade the sight range of these structures here. However, something to note, when buildings are floating or in production, they have a very small sight range. Well, okay. I thought this was only going to work one way, but yeah. Never mind. Well, when you're floating, you have a smaller sight range normal, but either way, he flew a little too close to the cyber core. But luckily, this is 2v2, and yeah, even Diamond League 2v2 is still not the brightest character, so still easily able to land, even though it should have been spotted. And getting some uncontested probe kills. Nice, nice work. So the fortress is going to complete and this nexus is going to go down, but looks like he has saved up enough minerals to expand, and that's a pretty good response to the fortress rush, because, well, we'll get back to that. We'll watch a little bit of Hellion harass here. Just my first two Hellions hitting the Zealots. Most of the probes are all locked in here, but I don't really get a good line attack here. Well, I got a few kills, maybe a wash on that first two Hellions. Yeah, so this is a good response because once all is said and done, my partner will be long distance mining and purple will be properly mining. So it's actually, that works out as a loss for us, and I'm totally missing action, so I'm going to back up a touch. Alright, so next two Hellions coming in. And this is the power of Hellions. Do not run like this. Either remain mining or kind of split your probes. Maybe send some to attack, some to mine. So once you get your probes just set up in a nice, like, line-shaped attack here, like, seriously. Do you know what's going to happen next here? Come on. And of course the Hellions, you don't want to just attack move. The attack move, that, like, when the Hellion's back here, he's going to fire because he's in range of this probe. So you'll fire his line attack and it'll just hit the one probe, which is not what you want. What you want to do is attack one that's further in. That way your line attack goes like this, and it's going to hit all these probes at once. And boom, there you have it. It's a nice 21 kill Hellion, and I think he's even going to get one more before all is said and done. Yep, 22. Got it. Boom, just in time. So this should be a good game right now. Obviously their probe count, if we bring up the income tab, is 5, and they got 10 probes total. However, I noticed I had a lot of extra minerals, so I'm like, I don't know what to do with this, so I'm just giving a lot of extra minerals to my partner. And yeah, when you haven't played for a couple months this builder, I kind of forgot this. I should be pumping Marines. I should be swapping these back, so the Marines on the reactor, pumping a lot of Marines, and bunkering up to defend the counterattack, which is basically their only chance to win. But instead, I'm like, wow, I got 1,200 minerals. More to my partner. Give it to your partner. That's a good way to look good macro-wise. If you accidentally stockpile stuff, I'll just give it to your partner, and then I'll keep my money low again. And you actually see I sent out an SCV just now. I just remembered to build bunkers, and it's absolutely poorly timed. Didn't even have my wall down. Cancelled my 2 starports, starting to float away. Sending my SCVs out to save them. However, closing that wall, all it did is block my own retreat path. I didn't even notice, and they're just going to cluster in the corner here. Same corner, of course, these stalkers clustered to trying to get in, and that's the end of that. Still doing some Hellion harass, but yeah, my base is fallen, and my partner, of course, is not in the best shape. He's got another command center just to mine a little more properly, and a couple barracks, but I'm more or less out of it. Ooh, that was like instantaneous death of, well, not instant, but like simultaneous death. That's what I was looking for, those 2 Hellions. So last 3 Hellions on the field here, and that's going to be it for my harassment. And I'm not microing them whatsoever. That's great. I suppose you can kill a stalker with 3 Hellions, but I'm just going to flee at this point. Ah. Didn't know that. You can 3-shot a probe. For drones and SCVs, you got 4-shot them. And yes, Synopsis did not learn his lesson and continues to flee his probes in a nice line-shaped fashion. Oh boy. Yep, another 14 kill Hellion. And now basically everyone is economically screwed. Except Teal has an army and we have a fortress. So we're just going to speed this up. Well, let's just go to 4x because everyone's more or less out of it at this point. Go to the income tab, you can see actually the person who Fortress Rush is the only one with an economy. Typically Fortress Rush takes you completely out of the game. Nice little marine setup here just to negate the mining at this nexus. This force is moving around looking for base to attack. I don't get the bunkers up in time. Once again I'm going to have to cancel everything and run. And my orbital gets sniped on the way out. That's not good. So sending out all my SCVs, and of course, the only way to survive is to get up a hidden expansion. And often the most hidden expansion is one that your opponent would naturally take, because that's probably the least likely one he would scout. So I'm actually going to take the base in his corner. This is where having a trusted partner comes in handy. Basically, since it's one-on-one at this point, I'm just like, okay, I'll micro your attack units, and you just macro at home. So seeing heavy stalkers, I'm telling my partner to get lots of marauders, which he is obliging me with. Very nice. Even got stim, and yeah, we got concussive shell too. Very, very good. So obviously just going to try to use this choke against him every time he tries to move up this ramp. I'm going to just get the better concave. But of course I have the issue of going down the ramp. I'll have the same problem he would have coming up the ramp. So not a good spot for me. I actually think he's camping at the bottom. Okay, now he is. So I'm just looking for a window to get out because I think this is a good force. It's a good amount of marauders. But again, yeah, I'm just poking my head out just to see if he's still there, because I can't fight clustered up on this ramp when he gets like this big wide concave. Looks like I have an opportunity here, but I don't really know about it. I'll bring up the production tab for you guys. And again, poke my head out and nope. Same time, my single units and Purple's last 2 remaining zealots are just kind of scurrying around the map. who are both just looking for expansions and kind of attacking each other. And there's my window. Nice, he let me down. Going up to the top of his ramp was not a good idea. And now I have the same situation on him where I get the concave. Probably a wasted scan there. Partner and I didn't actually communicate well. He thought I was pushing in, so he gave me a good scan. But I was just kind of poking at the ones on the ramp. I get a lot of kills there, however I did stim, so not sure who won that battle. I guess I probably won. My partner is moving out to take an expansion, which is nice because Teal is stuffed in his base. Saw Nexus Chrono boosting, so I'm like, oh, I guess Purple's actually back in the game, so we'll just we'll destroy that building. Sending out a small force here because it looks like Teal did sneak out a probe to set up an expansion, but of course spotting it here. No zealots, you can't come to safety, we're blocking you out. Good way to stuff it to your ally. Looks like I lost a Marauder to get that zealot, probably wasn't worth it. But it's nice that there's no zealots out in the field now. Now we have complete map control. And I'm actually getting some units on the field finally, but yeah, a little late. So it looks like Teal is going for Psionic Storm. And we scan, and I see the Templar. I'm like, okay, the Templar just arrived. Maybe they don't have the energy to storm yet, so I'm going to attack right now before the storm comes in. So I stim and get up here. However, yeah, apparently not. And with an larger Zealot force, this Marauder heavy army is not going to be in good shape. I mean, I can kite the Zealots, but again, Marauders don't do a whole lot of damage. Kind of spreading my force here, but yeah, I'm going to have to retreat here. It's kind of cutting backwards. It actually works well at the Storm, because the Storms end up hitting the Zealots more than the Marauders, but yeah, that's the end of us. By the time I get the Zealots down, there's not enough Marauders left to cover the Stalkers. So Teal's going out to long distance mine with all his probes, but finally I have units on the field, and these reinforcements are going to kill his entire probe count, come from front from the Stalkers, and then the reinforcements from my partner from behind, and that is the end of Teal's force and the end of his economy, and that is GG. So it's nice to play another 2v2 finally. Yeah, so maybe some more of these to come, and I suppose I'll call that the end of this video.
Looks like I picked the wrong day to quit stim packs.
Alright, for today's thumbs up fact of the day, I'm going to talk a little bit about kiting. I'm going to explain how to do it, the different methods of doing it, and kind of what your intent should be as you're doing it. So if you don't know what kiting is, it's kind of abusing your range and hopefully your speed advantage to take less damage or even no damage at all. So you see the Zealot is going to attempt to attack this Hellion. So what I'm just going to do is kite, so you just kind of move back and stop, move back and stop. And you can see where this Zealot would probably win a one-on-one match if I just stood there. This allows me to kill the Zealot without actually taking any damage whatsoever. So basically when you're kiting, there's three methods of doing it. One is stop, one is hold position, and one is to attack.
Justice be done.
So if we try this again,
Where's the hot action? Let's do this. Order, Shisan. We stand as one. Gassar, Templar. Ula Sadari.
so all I'm doing is I'm hitting S to stop, S, S, S. So it's pretty easy, and you can do the same thing with hold position. And you can do the same thing with attack move. So here he comes to attack me.
Pedal to the metal.
Hold position. Fire. Hold position.
Smoking.
Nice little graphical bug here. I hope you can hear the fact that I'm attacking him though. And then you can do the same thing with attacking. I can just attack move. Move back, attack.
Turning up the heat.
Move back, attack.
Get some. Not a problem. Pedal
And
to the metal. Daylight burning.
yeah, so there's purposes to each of these. I'm just going to pause for 1 second to set for the scenario. Okay, so now we'll go over the differences between the stop, attack move, and hold position. So basically, stop and hold position are very similar. You know, you just tap a key and then makes your unit stop. The difference is if a unit is out of attack range,
Are you ready for
if you
this?
press stop, he'll try to move into attack range. If you press hold position, he'll remain out of attack range. So I think if your goal is to do more damage, and if you're faster than your opponent, stop is the better key to use. So here I'm going to use stop, and we'll see that units out of range will actually move back in. You can see they kind of move a little bit.
Do this.
But given different clustering and unit setup, they might actually fall back into range.
Talk to me, boss.
Now, hold position units will stay out of range, and I think that's ideal for when you're getting attacked by units that are actually faster than you. So here we have a bunch of Zerglings. So now I'm going to use hold position, and you can see I can stop, and I'll stay at max range. And then for attack move,
Fight or flight? Yeah, right. Let's get into the fight. Yes, indeed.
sometimes you actually want to attack back so your units will move back into range.
No one lives forever.
So as soon as I'll
Victory.
attack move and move back. And the reason I do this versus, like, I think it's a good idea versus voids, because often voids will give up and they'll fall back to attacking a unit.
Certainly.
So if he does fall back, this attack move will chase him back again.
Certainly. I like it.
You gotta actually give time for the animation to go. Some units have like no animation, like a Marauder, but you know, like this, you actually have to move. Wait a second for the attack to happen. And then for attack command, that's important because sometimes
Daylight burning. Light it up.
you want to be attacking a specific unit. So here's my setup of a typical Zerg base. I'm sure that looks familiar to all of you. Not really, but it gives you the same idea. We're going to go into the mineral line, and there's a bunch of drones, and there's a queen.
Smoking. Hell yeah.
So if I come in and I just stop,
I'm going in.
see, it's not going to actually attack the drones. It's going to be attacking the queen because it's higher threat priority. So when you come in, you actually sometimes want to attack the drones.
Turning up the heat.
So you move, attack a drone. So even if I'm in queen range here,
Sounds sweet. Fire, fire.
if I weren't lagging, I could actually click on a unit. Alright, well, bad example, but you get the idea. Also for the same reason,
Allies' base is under attack.
All day
just
long.
because of the
Absolutely.
way the line attack works.
Let's do this.
If I come in and attack move these drones here, I'll just put them on hold position so they don't move.
Waiting on you.
You can see my line attack just attacks like the outside ones, where if I want to kill a lot of them, I actually want to target this one. So let's say this cluster runs away. What I'm going to want to do is target, say, like that one. What's going on here? Did I press the wrong button?
All day long.
Oh, officially they're not in my sight range because I'm the other player, but you want to attack like this one here.
Get some.
That way I'm hitting all the ones in the line.
Word. Not a problem.
Sorry for the lag here, guys. I'm not sure what's going on with my recording. And then probably the last thing you want to know about kiting is the attack speed, because you don't want to be stopping too often or not often enough.
Talk to me, boss.
So I'm just going to use these nexuses as an example of the thing I'll be attacking.
Yeah.
My Hellion ever gets here. And you can see the Hellion attack is once every 2.5 seconds it can attack. So if I move and I'm stopping too often, you can see a lot of these stops, there's no attack going on. Whereas, say, with the Marine,
By the numbers, boys.
has attack speed of 0.8, and even more when I'm stimmed.
Go, go, go. Oh, yeah. Will do.
You can see I can stop very often, and all the attacks happen.
Sparky.
So it's good to get accustomed to how often your unit can fire, so you know how often you should be stopping when you're kiting. And then last thing, it really has nothing to do about kiting, but when you're doing this sort of micro, it is micro intensive, so you want to make sure, okay, before I go in for a Hellion harass, make sure you have everything set up so you don't slip in your macro. So okay, make sure I have all my buildings selected. Okay, do I have enough supply? Alright, now I can go in and micro with my Hellions. Because that way, if you got your stuff hotkeyed, and you just, like, whenever you have a break, you know, you hit your hotkey for some command centers and build some SCVs, hit your hotkey for your barracks, build some units, and then go back to using your Hellions. And if you get supply capped in the middle of a battle, or you don't realize you don't have your barracks hotkey, then you're going to be doing all this Hellion harass, meanwhile your minerals are just going to be stockpiling instead of being spent. So yeah, this kiting takes a lot of your attention, so just make sure you have your macros set up ahead of time before you go in for this sort of harassment. And as for its actual uses, obviously concussive shell on marauders make them really good for kiting. So even though marauders don't do well versus zealots, if you continually move back, especially with concussive shell and stim, you'll take very little damage, and you'll eventually take the zealots down, taking no damage at all. Obviously Hellions versus any light armored unit, they're good for kiting. Marines, you should obviously be moving them back. It's good to do that move back and fire, especially to pull them back into like siege range, or to move away from Bailings to get some damage as you're moving backwards. And Vikings versus Void Rays is obviously my favorite. I do it all the time. Yeah, so I guess I can show you the concussive shells versus Stalkers right now. I did have it set up ahead of time. So hero attack with these. Ow, I'm lagging so hard. Okay, don't record with fraps while you're kiting. Yeah, it's just too laggy for me to do this properly, but I think you got the idea. Anyways, this thumbs up fact of the day has been running a little bit too long, so thank you everyone, and goodbye.